Assalamu alaikum. Yesterday, a very strong storm suddenly hit the city. And even though the weather department of Istanbul had warned us of this incident happening 2 days prior, we really didn't know what to expect of its severity. Countless homes were destroyed and so much property damage was done, unfortunately. And I seriously can't begin even to empathize or imagine the people right now who have to sleep, who have to find a place to sleep because their house doesn't have a roof or their windows are smashed in or their house even may have collapsed overall. It's honestly quite scary to think that any moment now, the windows could just shatter and burst in with shards of glass flying everywhere because of how strong the wind is. If that were to happen, your house would become, or a person's house would become uninhabitable because, the wind would be flying in and there would be shards of glass and, with the weather being very cold, it's honestly a quite scary thought to consider that this is very much a possibility when there are winds moving at this kind of speed. People often think that the wind is the most dangerous part of the storm, but really it's the projectiles that zip around at blinding speeds. Those are the real threat and the major hazard to human life. The last news I heard is that 4 people, Allah yarhamhum, have passed away and 19 people are in the hospital, with 4 of them also being in critical condition. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for the citizens of Istanbul, and every single person was afflicted by the storm that took place yesterday and potentially may take place today as well. This video is going to be about what to do if you find yourself in these situations of natural disasters. What to do if you find yourself in the midst of a windstorm while you are outside, going about and doing your normal things. Because honestly, the speed at which this storm picked up pace, it just took hold of the city so suddenly, and I don't even think with the forecast anyone could have seen it coming. The 2 most common natural disasters to occur usually here in this region and in Istanbul are earthquakes and windstorms, so those will be addressed in this video. The information that I'm going to present to you is extremely crucial and important for your survival, la samahallah, if you were to be in an emergency situation. God forbid. So stick around till the end of the video. So what to do when there is 150 km/h wind, devastating and tearing apart the city, and you find yourself caught in the midst of all that on the streets of Istanbul. First of all, never underestimate the power of these storms. As I said before, the most dangerous part of these windstorms that take place isn't the actual wind or the speed at which the wind is moving. It is rather the projectiles that are in this wind, the shingles of the roofs and the pieces of wood, the branches of trees that are just moving around at lightning speed. We humans were built to withstand maybe 150 km/h gusts of wind slamming into our body. Perhaps we were also built to withstand the ground moving, the shaking of the ground during a magnitude 5 or 7 earthquake. But something that humans definitely weren't built to withstand is, God forbid, again, la samahallah, a window falling from the 30th floor and smashing right onto your head. Because this is something that I witnessed during the storm yesterday from my balcony window. A window of another flat or another house literally fell from the 20th or 30th floor, and it was being thrown around in the wind like it was nothing. So don't let your confidence get the better of you, and always acknowledge the danger that is present whenever these kind of windstorms occur. The second thing to do is seek shelter immediately. Seek shelter from the wind and then obviously the projectiles, since it is the wind that carries the projectiles. So if you can't find a spot indoors, find a corner of a building or an alley or something that would shield you from the strength and the ferociousness of the wind. Of course, finding an indoor shelter is always optimal. However, do not opt for a shelter that isn't sturdy.
Oh, Erol abinin kulübesi gitti. Erol abin gel gitme gel. Oha bu ne? Erol abi orada. Dur. Halil abi dur.
So nothing plywood, nothing gypsum, and absolutely nothing with metallic corrugated sheets, because those things have been seen flying everywhere around this city during the windstorm that took place yesterday. And you could imagine it's usually these small, poorly built wooden structures that are first to go. And point number 3, or you couldn't really say tip, survival guide number 3 is, if you were to be caught in this windstorm and you wish to move from a place of danger to a place of safety, use hold on to a rail or hold on to something that would guide you to that place. Honestly, at 100 km/h wind, it is just as though you are trying to walk in a swimming pool, because these winds can really slow you down. It gets really difficult to walk when the wind is at such a speed. Don't only take my word for it on these survival tips and survival guides. There are many other reputable resources online that will tell you exactly what and how to do in more detail. And for that, I have provided all the links to those videos and also to the articles in the description down below, inshallah. So check it out. And inshallah, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ease the afflicted families and ease the difficulties of those people. And may He protect us and protect everyone from this situation ever happening again. Stay safe, everyone. Stay home till further notice. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.